Your Humanities Half Hour is brought to you by the Northern Marianas Humanities Council.
Hafaday Zantiro, welcome to Your Humanities Half Hour. I'm Catherine Harris, and I am excited because coming up this week we have one of the biggest events I feel that happens on Saipan every year, in the Marianas every year, and that is the Flame Tree Arts Festival. And here to give us all the details and to talk art in general is the Secretary of the Department of Community and Cultural Affairs, Robert Hunter, and also the Executive Director of the Commonwealth Council for Arts and Culture, Parker Yobei. Rob, Parker, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon.
Hey.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Well, we are all, of course, anticipating very much the festival that's coming up this weekend. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, this year is our 36th year 36 Flame Tree Arts Festival.
Wow, it's been that long?
Yes, and it's still getting bigger and exciting and colorful. This year, we're gonna try a different venue. It's gonna be over at the fishing base across Cristo Rey Church. It kicks off on April 20th, which is Thursday. It's the opening ceremony will be at 5, but there's gonna be another ceremony or the ceremony starts at 6 for the flame tree, but the canoe ceremony starts at 5, and my boss will talk a little bit more about that one. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Saturday will start at 12 noon to around 10 p.m.
So people can sleep in on
Yes.
Saturday. All right.
Yeah.
They won't miss any of the excitement if you sleep in on Saturday.
Yeah, get some rest and come out for the whole
The rest of the day.
whole day and a night event. Exciting. We have a lot of programs lined up for everyone this weekend, and I hope everyone can come out and enjoy. It's a family-oriented event.
So it's Thursday evening, Friday evening, Saturday starting at 12, and how about on Sunday?
Same as Saturday. Starts at 12 till 11 or 12 sometimes.
I love that starting time. Thank you so much for those of us that want to really come out and enjoy it. Rob, tell us a little bit about this special canoe ceremony that's happening at 5. What's going on there?
Yeah, we're going to be welcoming a Sakman canoe from Guam. At 5 p.m. there'll be a welcoming ceremony. What's fantastic about this is, as far as we know, the first time a significant Chamorro canoe has made a voyage between the islands of the Marianas in probably hundreds of years. So it's pretty incredible when you think about it. It's kind of a last-minute addition to the Flame Tree. Two of the staff of our new canoe and navigation program, which will really kick off after the Flame Tree Festival, but 2 of the staff are going to be sailing with that canoe from Guam to here. One of the staff actually helped construct that canoe, the son of Maupiailu, Tony, who's been working with, I think, a group called TASA in Guam, and other groups to help them construct canoes. And so it's a pretty significant event. We hope everybody comes out to welcome this boat, and this is the first boat you'll see of what will be a long line of new Chamorro canoes we're going to be building here.
So is this a canoe that was built on Guam? Because I know
Yes.
there was the Sakman that was built in California that came to FestPac. And was this canoe also involved in FestPac last year, or is it a new canoe?
I don't know if it was involved in FestPac. This isn't the boat that's coming that was at FestPac from California. There are several, of course, Chamorro boats on Guam now. This is a new boat that has been constructed on Guam.
Do you have any idea how large it is and how many people will be coming aboard?
I believe the crew is 6, so it's a fairly large boat. It has probably in the 20-foot range, 20-some foot range.
Okay.
In order to accommodate
So what will happen during this ceremony at 5 o'clock?
Well, there's going to, I don't know if this is hush-hush still. They're still working out the details of the welcoming ceremony, but there's going to be some traditional activities, chants and dances, exchanges of gifts, and exchanges of gifts and words between the navigator of the Sacman and our governor. The details of that ceremony are being worked out, but it's going to be very traditional.
Now, you mentioned this is related to a new canoe and navigation program. What is that all about? And is that under the Arts Council?
It is. This is really the governor's good work that we got this canoe and navigation program. Luckily, we, for the first time, had a governor who went to the Festival of the Pacific Arts and was moved by what he saw. As an artist who has been to many festivals of the Pacific Arts, and not one where our governor has attended, it was fantastic this time around to see our governor actually there in the stand, and he was immediately supportive of everything he saw when he spoke to me. And so we had already submitted our budget for this fiscal year, and it did not include a canoe and navigation program, but lo and behold, we got it back with funding for a new canoe and navigation program under the Arts Council. And so we're in the process right now of hiring the personnel, and you can imagine that's not all that easy because there aren't that many people that are easily available that build canoes and navigate and know celestial navigation. But we have those people identified, and most of them are on board or soon to be on board. And so following the Flame Tree Arts Festival, we're really going to knuckle down and get this program going. Where you know, the long-term goal of this is to see a major canoe house and other canoe houses around the island, and boats being built and sailed, and kids being taught the art of navigation and canoe building. I think it's long past due that we recognize what an incredible skill, traditional skill this is, that our people here in the Pacific, hundreds of years before anyone else on the planet made open ocean voyages, were using this complex form of celestial navigation to sail hundreds and thousands of miles across the Pacific. And so we're so excited. You can see that I'm getting goose pimples talking about this, excited to kick off this program.
And of course, it's wonderful timing, of course, with 500 sails coming out with their goal to have 500 canoes on the horizon. And, you know, I can just see in the future that we're going to be a place known as a destination, for example, for tourists, where you can go and enjoy traditional sailing. It'll be like the to-do thing to do when you get here, unique to other similar destinations. So, Parker, we're kicking off then with this canoe welcoming ceremony at 5 p.m. on Thursday. Tell us a little bit more about what people can expect at the festival.
A lot of performing artists, especially, they prep for months and months to showcase their talent on the stage. And this year is about the same as last year. Gordon's been getting calls since 4 months ago about the lineup, and people asking for slots even in between. So while the group is getting ready, there's another show on the stage, so you're gonna have a non-stop performing arts on the stage.
You guys do a really good job of that. There doesn't seem to be any gap really in the entertainment.
Oh, thank you. That's thanks to Gordon Marciano, who is in charge of the program and the lineup for the whole 4 days. We have also a competition that's gonna happen on Saturday. This is in partnership with the Marianas Music Association. This is in line with their goal as promoting local local songs. So they're doing a Chamorro and Carolinian song competition,
Wow.
and our office is also sponsoring a part of the sponsors for the that event. We're gonna give out great prizes, so I encourage all the. I believe the age range for that is 11 to 25.
Oh, so it's targeting young, up and coming
yeah.
musicians.
We want to bring encourage the young generations to get involved in performing, and especially singing Chamorro and Carolinian language. Try to bring back the songwriting and get them involved in all this performing arts that's happening on the island.
So, by the way, is the schedule going to be available online someplace where people can? Because I'm thinking about this event. You know, there might be people particularly interested in this event, or a newspaper. I assume it might be in the paper.
Yes, it is, and there are flyers that's been posted all around the island by the Marinas Music Association. You can contact Mr. JJ Concepcion. He's the person in charge of that particular program on the stage on that Saturday. Other than the music competition, we have a storytelling. This is in partnership with the public school system, and storytelling from Chamorro and Carolinian side as well. So that's another exciting and new addition to the performing.
It sounds like.
lineup.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. It sounds like you really have a lot of new things this year.
Yeah, we're trying to expand the program as much as we can to cover all the age and range, and everybody have a different expectation on the stage when they come. So we try to make sure we have a little of everything for everyone.
Are we expecting any off-island delegates this year?
Yes, we do. We confirmed Guam's coming in with about 20 official delegates. Palau is also confirmed coming in with about the same number of people. So those two are confirmed as of today.
Now, I know in years past, groups would perform as an act of community service, and they were not compensated. Is that still the situation?
Yes, Kat, that's still the same.
Well,
That's incredible.
Yeah.
and we had, when I was at the Arts Council a long time ago, we had a policy back then, and it was that we don't act as a middleman to secure visual or performing arts or artists that are for free. We just don't do that. We know artists need to make a living. The one exception was the Flame Tree. It's such an enormous event, and includes the participation of so many performing artists that we would just not have the budget to do that. So it was the one event during the year that we couldn't compensate the artists as much as we'd like to.
And it's one of the best, which is so crazy. You would think that, if you weren't compensating the artists, it might be mediocre, but it's really the best cultural festival every year. Parker, let's also mention the booths. You got the food, you got the artists. Give us a little summary of that.
Well, the purpose of the Flame Tree Cat has always been putting every artist that we have on island and our special guests from off island, whether it's traditional, modern, or modern contemporary and traditional arts, all in one place. So I think the Flame Tree, the arts dish, I cannot wait to see, because every year the talent and the creativity that the artists we have showcase every year. And it's never the same arts. They always come up with new stuff that it's always exciting and I cannot wait to go around the booths and just look around and appreciate the creativity that they come up with. And it's a lot of work, and I just want to encourage the community to come out and appreciate it. And artists see things we don't see, and they express themselves through their arts, and it's just so exciting to see the creativity they come up with every year, and it's never the same art. Just exciting.
And as a participant in the past, I find that the other artists, it's almost like a social hour for the artists. You know, it's not just about the sale.
Yes.
It's not even. It's like maybe half about the sale, and it's half about the connections and the relationships. So. Having people come into your booth is great, and we really invite everybody to come down and see what the artists have to share, what they're expressing. And if you're moved, buy it and take it home. You know,
Yes.
that's what we want. We're talking today about the Flame Tree Arts Festival, and we're going to take a little bit step back into history and with Rob, since he was at the first festival or among the first festivals after this break.
Hafaday, this is Eulalia Areola of the Northern Marianas Humanities Council. Did you know that you can donate up to $5,000 to the Humanities Council through the CNMI Education Tax Credit Program? Donations from individuals and corporations qualify and can be used to offset your local wage and salary tax, BGRT, and earnings tax. Call our office at 235-4785 to see how you can support humanities programs in our community and obtain a tax credit for your donation. Sizuus Maasi, Olomai, and thank you.
Welcome back to Your Humanities Half Hour. We're speaking today with the Secretary of the Department of Community and Cultural Affairs, Robert Hunter, and also the Executive Director of the Commonwealth Council for Arts and Culture, Parker Yobei. Rob, I had thought that you were a participating artist in the first Flame Tree, but you're not that old. Share with us your recollection of the festival.
I was. I'm guessing here. I think I was in 6th or 7th grade when my parents took us to the first Flame Tree Festival, which was just north of the World Resort, or what was the Royal Taga at the time hotel. What is it? There's a Naked Fish area today, and it was a half-day event, and it was, as a kid, and a kid who I grew up to become an artist part-time, but it played such a huge influence on me. It was the most fantastic event I had been up to that time, and
Wow.
I remember bothering my dad months after this, to find out when the next festival was, when were we going to be able to go to this. And that's how I meant to see performing arts groups and local musicians and artists making this stuff. And it wasn't that big. I mean, there were only, if I recall, there were like 6 or 7 tents or 5 tents. It was, and there was a square stage without a cover, no big fancy sound system, none of what you see, you've seen the last couple of decades. But the arts in and of themselves together there, brought together like that, played a huge influence on me, and I'm sure a lot of people, because it continued. It's 36 years later, right? And over the years, the festival has grown. It's moved from venue to venue. We've tried different things out. We've added activities and removed activities, and artists have come and gone. We've included off-island delegations, and all kinds of changes have been made, but the soul of the festival is still really intact. I mean, it's where artists come together to showcase their work, and it's funny, we're sitting here, me and Parker, at previous festivals. He's a performing artist, and I'm a visual artist, and we've been to many festivals as artists. It's funny, we're sitting here now as organizers.
Yeah.
But it is such an amazing event. People, artists following the event try to get a booth as quickly as they can following the event for next year, months and months in advance, just to make sure they have a spot for next year. Food vendors do that.
Yeah.
The community come and tell us, how wonderful this event. It's a family event. We've never had issues. It's just a fantastic event. The best of the CNMI community comes out to this event.
Now, Parker, we have to say, we're happy to see you as the executive director of the Arts Council now, but more importantly, are you going to be performing at this year's festival?
I don't think so, Kev. I'm gonna.
You're not on standby for filler or anything?
There is a crew that's on standby. I want to give the chance to our youth to experience the stage and the adrenaline they experience on the stage when they entertain for a crowd of this size, especially for the amateurs that first time on stage. And I remember my first experience on the stage at the Flame Tree was nerve-wracking and it was exciting, and it's something that I think every new performing artist should experience. So I want to give that chance to the youth too.
All right. Well, as long as the festival goes smooth, we understand the sacrifice that you're making. We'll have to find you at another venue if we want to enjoy your music. But Rob, paint for us the big picture, no pun intended. How important, obviously the festival is important to you two because you are artists, but is art really, I mean, how important is it to the rest of society?
Well, the arts are important in so many ways. Whether you're looking at education, or communications, whatever. But in terms of us here in the CNMI, and there's the perpetuation of our traditional arts, which, as you could tell by some of the things Parker talked about for this festival, there's kind of a renewed focus on traditional music and traditional language and our canoe program. So we are putting emphasis on that for this festival and hopefully every festival here on in. But there's also the benefits that come to the CNMI through the arts by, the arts are who we are. When we have visitors from other countries that come here and look at this place, they meet people, hopefully some local people, and they see the island, they see the beaches, they see a lot of things you might see other places. But to really get the uniqueness of us in public spaces, that's usually done through the arts. If you go to Hawaii and any even private buildings, but public buildings and public spaces, you see Hawaiian art. You're in Hawaii. Wherever you go, there is Hawaiian art all over. Part of that is because they have a great percent for the arts law that requires any new construction put a percent towards the arts. But also in Guam, you go to the airports, you go to the public buildings, you see the public spaces and the sculpture. They're building an identity through their arts. They are a unique place. When you're in Guam, you're in Guam. You pass the big statue.
The Carabao.
The Carabao, whatever it is. All these, when you're in the airport is full of art created by Guam artisans. So, I think part of the reason is economics. We haven't been able to do that really, but we're in a position now where we really need to start considering this, and the arts can really identify us as a unique destination, whether that's the canoes on the ocean that we're all working towards right now, the performing arts at events, and hopefully at hotels, where Polynesian shows are going on now, and they should be Micronesian shows, but also through public sculpture and public art in public spaces and private spaces. It also supports our economy. You pay artists, you pay local artists, and they spend money in the community, and it's self-perpetuating, and so I'm glad to see that we're starting, we're coming off a bad kind of period in our economy where the arts really did take a big hit. It actually took a long time to kind of build a culture of people who would pay for the arts, pay for performing artists, buy visual artwork, and that kind of all that work kind of went downhill 2008, 2009 as the economy started to go downhill. So we're really working to start building that back.
Well, one of the things that the festival does every year is recognize those artists that have contributed to the local art community that have passed in the year before. Are you doing that again this year, Parker?
Yes, Kat, and this year we have about 8 or 9 artists who have passed since last year of May. So we're gonna be doing that. We dedicate actually the flame tree every year to all of those artists who have passed since the last flame tree. So that's gonna be part of our opening ceremony, and we're gonna present a appreciation plaque to the family.
That's really nice. So we've got the flame tree coming up this Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday and Sunday, beginning at noon until nighttime, 10 o'clock. At where?
At the fishing base.
Yes.
In Garpan, right across Christ Church.
So exciting. Anything else on the horizon for the Arts Council that we can look forward to?
Well, we're planning a CNMI Island Artists exhibit. This is gonna be an evening of arts. We're looking at. We're still soliciting for a venue, partnership with other private businesses. Since our gallery is under renovation, we're looking for a venue to conduct this. We're looking at a week-long exhibit where everybody can come in and find the right piece for their living room, their kitchen, or and just creating that connection between the businesses and art collectors and buyers with the artists.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. Any final thoughts before we go?
I just want to thank everybody, the public, for your continuous support. Thank our governor, our legislators, our senators, and especially the public who come out and support the Flame Tree Arts Festival and support our artists in other ways. Thank you.
Thank you too. Rob?
Well, I just want to encourage everybody to support the arts. Support arts in education, support arts in our community, support festivals and activities like this. The arts help build a better place for all of us and help identify us as a unique. We know we're unique, but help identify us as a unique destination, and it just makes the place a whole lot better.
I would agree. Well, we've been speaking today with Rob Hunter, the Secretary of the Department of Community and Cultural Affairs, and also Parker Yobei, Executive Director of the Commonwealth Council of Arts and Culture, both artists in their own right, inviting everybody to come out for the Flame Tree Arts Festival this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We hope to see you there. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you, Kathy.
This has been Your Humanities Half Hour. I'm Catherine Harris.
This program was supported by a We the People grant awarded to the Northern Marianas Humanities Council from the National Endowment for the Humanities. Any views, findings, conclusions, or recommendations expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily represent those of the National Endowment for the Humanities or the Northern Marianas Humanities Council.